Wow, what a weekend of rugby. This is BIS Rugby. This is the Welsh Rugby Show. We're going to round up the action from both derby matches. So if you do enjoy, subscribe, like and comment your thoughts down below. We have to start though with the Scarlets against the Ospreys. Scarlets running out 20-17 winners, and it was truly a proper derby match. A lot of hate, a lot of competitiveness, a lot of drive, a lot of passion involved in this match. And the first 5 to 7 minutes was a bit scrappy, I felt. Big hits being put in, players showing a lot of intensity and a lot of desire in this first 5 to 7 minutes, and a lot of kicking as well in these early bits. Ospreys dominated territory, 78% of the territory was theirs, and they were dominating the game. But their missed opportunities, they just did not take their chances, and it was the Scarlets who got the first try of the afternoon. They got it. McNichol scored their first chance they had. Kieran Fontier draws in the defender. The Ospreys came in too early. I thought Aled Davis flew out of the defensive line a bit too early, and they score. And it was Ospreys who had all the chances, but Scarlets only had one chance, and that equalled a try, and Lee Halfpenny converted it. 16 minutes it took to get those first points, but as I said, the Ospreys did nothing, did not take any opportunities, and as an Ospreys fan, it was so frustrating to watch that first 15 minutes. Very, very encouraging at one level, but at the other level, very frustrating because we just weren't taking our chances at all. And one of the big things for the Ospreys was our ill-discipline and knock-ons, silly mistakes, all these kind of things going on. But the game, I felt, opened up a little bit after that, and things started to happen for both sides. Corey Allen got a try for the Ospreys in the 30th minute. Sam Davis takes the ball to the defensive line fantastically, draws in the defender, and Corey Allen runs through untouched and scores. Then we come to the first controversial decision of the afternoon, a decision that the team has to do. George North facing his former team, of course, and he scores in the corner. Try, yes or no? It looks as if Tom Pridey has managed to hold the ball up, but it also looks like North has managed to put his hand on top. It's so tight to see, and I'm not being biased, but I did think North got his hand on top of the ball and planted it, and it was given as a try. Nigel Owens, the ref, he had a tough afternoon and he made a few errors, and we'll get into them in a minute, but a try for George North. He had a lot of stick from the crowd, but it's nothing less than you'd expect. He knew he was going to get that. Going back to the Scarlets, you'd have heard Dylan Jones on the preview saying he really wants him to get smashed, and we saw this throughout the afternoon. But a great try for the Ospreys. The Ospreys go 12-7 ahead. And a lot throughout the game, I thought Sam Davis played really well. A lot of tactical kicking from both fly halves, from Patchell and from Sam Davis. And I thought Ospreys were having the best of the kicking battle at the start of the match. Halfpenny got a penalty to make it 12-10 in favour of the Ospreys. So the Scarlets getting the points that they needed to come back into the match, but nothing too extreme. In the second half, the Scarlets came out firing. I don't think the Ospreys touched the ball in that first 10 minutes of that second half. Pressure upon pressure upon pressure upon pressure, going through the phases. I think they went through about 35 phases in the 22 of the Ospreys, which is credit to the defence of the Ospreys. But the Scarlets were just relentless in their attack, and it was inevitable that they were going to score. But they only scored through a penalty start, with Halfpenny kicking over the points. I think it was quite wise to take these points for the Scarlets, just so they got something for their efforts. But there's a controversial decision in this phase of where Luke Morgan, the winger for the Ospreys, should have been sin-binned. A ball out to the right from the Scarlets, 3 men over, and Luke Morgan goes to the intercept. But he has not gone with it with both hands. It's not a clear intention to get the intercept. He's just knocked it on deliberately, in my opinion, and I think in everyone else's opinion. Nigel Owens, though, turns around and says, no deliberate knock-on, just a knock-on scrum. Can't say I agree with him. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say. For me, 100% should have been a penalty and should have been a yellow card. And from that, Luke Morgan gets a try From that, Luke Morgan gets a try, but just before that, Reece Patchell scores a lovely line from him, as you can see, and he runs through and scores in the 56th minute to put Scarlets 20-12 ahead. But as I said, Luke Morgan got a try, lovely ball out to Tipperick. Tipperick draws in the defender, plays it to Luke Morgan on the left of the wing, and he gets in the corner, acrobatically scores. But again, if he'd have had that yellow card, they would not have scored that try. And I thought he played well, but you could see that he'd really come from sevens. You could see that he was struggling with how 15s work. But Ospreys came back again. They got another try, and it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. It was not enough. Scarlets winning 20 points to 17. A great performance from Scarlets. But what does it come down to? What really does it come down to? Well, I think it comes down to the Ospreys. And not ability, really, to take those chances in that first half. So many opportunities to get at least 3 or 5 points on the board, but we just did not take those chances. And I think we did probably about 30 phases at one point in the 22 of the Scarlets, and we had an option to take the points. We hadn't really moved much in the 22, didn't look like we were going to score a try, and yet we go for the corner again. And that was frustrating. I was like, let's just take the points. Let's just get some points on the board. But it didn't happen. But fair play to Scarlets. They probably should have won by more. They had dominated the game in the second half. Ospreys were lucky to be so close near the end. The man of the match for the game has got to be Fonatia, who played really, really well. Carried the ball well up to the line. Beat defenders. Drew in defenders. It was so important, integral in that first try for the Scarlets. Quick mention about Nigel Owens, who struggled. Lots of decisions gone for the Ospreys. Lots of decisions gone against the Scarlets, which may have been fair. Tipperick should have been sin-binned for a high tackle on a replacement scrum half. Did stop the tackle below the neck, but the law state if it does go up to the neck at any point in the tackle, it is a yellow card, and Nigel Owens does not give it. Why? I don't know. He's an experienced ref, probably should have done better. But what do you guys think of that game? And let me know in the comments below. Are you happy with the results? Are you a Scarlets or an Ospreys fan? Let me know in the comments below. Now it's time to look at the Dragons against the Cardiff Blues that happened at Rodney Parade. Let's do this. Now it's time for the Dragons against the Cardiff Blues. And the Cardiff Blues won this one 23-15 down at Rodney Parade. But it was the Dragons who started the best, with Josh Lewis getting a fantastic try for the Dragons. They were fantastic. A driving ball 5 metres out, played out, and Lewis scores in the corner. But it could have been avoided if the Blues had just kicked it away instead of trying to play in their own 22. They should have just cleared it easily, but they tried to play all the way from the back. But unfortunately, it didn't work for them. And a try for the Dragons, the perfect start for them. The second try comes in. This time it's fantastic work from the centre. And he just gets through. Wonderful work from Adam Warren. Tackled, offloaded to Rosso, who scores a great try. It's 19 minutes and it's 12-0 to the Dragons already. And I'm thinking we possibly have a shock on our hands. And throughout this first part, the Dragons were offloading the ball really well. I thought they were. They were trying to play a good style of rugby. And their key players were getting involved in the match. Halaholo did have a big chance for the Cardiff Blues. A lovely grubber kick from Lloyd Williams. Very clever to put it through. Halaholo goes to the ball, but he doesn't quite ground it. It's not a clear grounding, and the TMO decides no try for the Cardiff Blues. But the Cardiff Blues do finally get their try through Owen Lane. The ball out to the corner. He beats the tackle and scores in the corner. The TMO does check it. It looked like Moriarty had pulled his shorts into touch, but he grounds the ball first. Only just. And I have to agree with the decision of the TMO. I think he got it just right. Literally a split second between the shorts in touch and between the try. And then it went back and forth with penalties. Anscombe getting 2 penalties and Jordan Williams getting a penalty to make it 15-11. But then the Cardiff Blues came into their own. A try for Christian Dacey, a driving maul from the right-hand side, 5 metres out, and he crashes over in the corner under a pile of loads of bodies. And the Cardiff Blues really started to show why they were so much better than Dragons and why I had predicted them to beat the Dragons. Owen Lane got another try, this time a break by Anscombe after winning a high ball, a great tackle. But David Howell's fantastic tackle by him, he did get him. But the ball has just played out, numbers upon them, and you can see the fitness levels of the Dragons. They are struggling at this point, and Anscombe plays the ball out, and as I said, Owen Lane in the corner. So how would I summarise this game for the Dragons? Well, a fantastic start to start with. I did not expect it at all. I really thought the Cardiff Blues would run away with this match. I'm glad they proved me wrong. They can hold their heads proud, but it is that fitness, and you see that difference in quality coming through as Hollow, the likes of them, as Cardiff Blues can bring the likes of Williams on. They can bring all these different players on, and the Dragons just don't have that level on the bench at all. Here we go, Cardiff Dragons. It is finished 23-15 to the Cardiff Blues at Rodney Parade, but the Dragons started really, really well. First 5 minutes they were dominating the game, and they got their try as well. Try for Josh Lewis, a driving ball 5 metres out, played out to Lewis, and he scores in the corner. But this all came because of Cardiff's, for some reason, needing to play it out from their own 22, not clearing their lines, not going for territory as we saw in the Ospreys Scarlets match, but trying to play it out from the back, turnover ball, and the Dragons score. But a great start for the Dragons nonetheless. Then the Dragons score again. This time Jared Rossier scores, and this is a fantastic try. Adam Warren breaks the line, he goes through, lovely offload to the fly half, and then it's played out to Jared Rossier, who scores in the corner. 19 minutes gone. It is 12-0 to the Dragons because they missed one conversion. But it slowly starts to shift towards the Cardiff. It's on the balance of the Cardiff, but I thought the Dragons really tried to play good rugby, offloading the ball well. They'd clearly worked on that all week, and they were doing some really good bits in the match. But it was inevitable that the Cardiff Blues would come back, and they nearly got their try through Hollow, who got through on Lloyd Williams' grubber kick. It looked like he touched it down on first look, but on the TMO, it was clear to see that he hadn't grounded it clearly, and that's actually the fullback for Dragons had got there first. I have to agree with the TMO decision. I think he was right. Let me know in the comments, though, down below, what do you think about that decision? And about the TMO in general today. Had lots of decisions to make in the derbies. Then Owen Lane got a try for the Cardiff Blues, out to the corner, lovely play, and scores in the corner. And he got another try. I'm not going to go too much into the tries themselves, but Cardiff Blues will be happy with that performance in the second half. In the first half, way too slow out the blocks. Not quick enough, not enough intensity, and trying to do some complicated things instead of sticking to what is simple. They know individually and as a team they are better than the Dragons, but they try to do too much. So yeah, the Dragons played really well, a great performance from them. They did really, really well in the second half, but in the first half I didn't think they played that well particularly. But it's a decent performance from them. They can go up on a high now into the European games. But let me know what you think down there in the comment section down below. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you soon on the Welsh Rugby Show. See you soon.